yesterday, this is where we left off, talking about point of view. Just to remind us, point of view comes in several different forms. Okay, this is the chart that you could use to remind yourself of the different points of view if you've gotten stuck. First and third, those are really the big ones that fourth grade focuses on. Okay, I gave you all of them just so that when you get to fourth grade, or fifth grade, you have heard this before and it's not like another language. But the ones that we're focusing on, Mason and Jeremy, are first person and third person. So that's what we're going to do right now when it comes to writing, is we're going to look at the story. For example, here's the first one, and I'm going to do this one with you so that you know what you're doing, and then I'm going to turn you loose on the next one by yourself. But the directions say rewrite the story from the first person point of view of the turtle. So let's read the story, and that'll make the directions will make more sense to us as we are reading the story. If you need to zoom, go ahead so that you can see it. Yeah, hitting present will help you see it better too. All right, so it says the summer sun beat down on the turtle's flat shell, sending waves of heat throughout its body. The little round reptile crawled slowly through the mud and sand, determined to reach the cool water that lapped at the edge of the creek. Despite every step of its webbed feet, the distance to the refreshing water seemed to be further and further away. The exhausted turtle stopped to rest once, tucking its vulnerable head and feet inside its shell to protect it from any predators that might be interested in a meaty snack. Just when it began to think that it would never reach the bank of the creek, the turtle felt the first cool sensation of flowing water beneath the thin, leathery skin of its clawed foot. With only a few more steps, the turtle fell gracefully beneath the surface, letting the crisp water carry it away. There was nothing more than a splash and a ring of ripples to let the hungry animals lurking nearby know that it had been there. First off, before we even start talking about this, the author of this did a great job letting us feel like we're there with this turtle. I really felt like I can imagine. We all have a connection to a turtle. We've all seen one. Some of us have held one. Some of us haven't. But we all have that connection to what they look like, how slow they move. We probably all have connections to this setting. And the author did a great job of telling us, and not only telling us what's going on, but helping us to feel like we are in this story. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we go to retell, we want to make sure that we keep that in mind too. We don't just want to tell our reader what's going on. We want to show our reader what's going on. We want to let the reader feel like they are there in the setting with them. What point of view is this story told from right now? We know we're about to move it to first person point of view of the turtle, but what point of view do we have right now? I'm going to let you look at it and think about it and be ready to give me some evidence. What point of view do we have before we're even turning it into first? Some of y'all are looking at me and not looking at the passage. I love your face though. What do we have and how do we know? What do we have and how do we know? David, what do we have?
Third person.
Okay, how do you know?
This is talking to us.
It's talking to us, okay? We're not in...
The story.
Is the narrator in this story?
No.
No, it's not. This story is about a turtle. The turtle is not telling this story. We're about to make the turtle tell the story. But right now the turtle is not. At least you have something to add to what David was saying?
It also says it.
It says it.
And that was also in third person.
Right, so it says it instead of I. If this was happening to the turtle, it would say, I was going to the pond or the creek, which you guys are about to do. So yes, it says it. It doesn't say I or me. What else, Ava?
It said, the exhausted turtle.
The exhausted turtle. It didn't say, right, it says the turtle. It doesn't say me or I'm so exhausted. You're gonna do that in just a second. But those are all clues that let me know that what I've got is third person, and then it tells us what we're going to is first person as if we are the turtle. So, notice that this is a story that we're writing right now.
That's cool.
We have not written stories yet in 4th grade. We've only written informational text. We've only examined a story. We've told about a story. So when we're writing this paragraph, because we're about to make a story, are we going to use trees?
No.
We're not.
No.
Are we going to use evidence
Yeah.
and sentence starters?
No.
No, we're not. We're going to use information from the text, but we're not going to write, according to the text, the turtle did blah, 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 blah. No, because you're the turtle. You're writing a story. And when you write a story, all you need to think about is beginning, middle, and end. Notice that this story is told in order that things happened. Do y'all see that? So, as the summer sun beat down on the turtle's back, he crawled slowly toward the mud and the sand. So he started his journey. That's at the beginning. The middle tells us about the middle of his journey. He takes a break. He's vulnerable to predators. And then the end of the story is how he actually finishes his journey and gets into the... Y'all with me? Gets into the what? The creek, the water. Very good. So that's what we're thinking about when we start retelling this story. Okay, so let's look at it together. The summer sun beat down on the turtle's flat shell, sending waves of heat throughout its body. If I'm oops, let me get where I can write on this. There we go. If I am about to rewrite this story, can I use some of the same information?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Because
You're gonna be the
Because we're the turtle. So Ava, how could I rephrase this as if I'm the turtle?
So the sunbeams were beating down on my shell, and I felt very it's not very good. Like I felt very hot because of it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So the summer sun is beating down on my shell because I am a turtle, right?
On my shell, and I got hot because of it.
Right. So the summer sun beat down on my shell. It made me
Hot.
feel hot. I'm going to zoom it in a lot more so that y'all can see exactly what I'm doing.
I finished.
Good, Glory.
Am I supposed to be doing this?
You are. But if you, do you want to write it or do you want to type it?
Write it. It's much faster with doing that.
Okay, so get a piece of loose leaf paper. I did have,
Okay,
I do have the slideshow printed for you, Glory.
Man, I actually kind of wanted to do it.
I can't find my binder.
Your binder is under your computer, my sweet pea. Here's you a copy of this.
Also, here's my math.
Okay.
It goes on my top of my folders.
Okay. Thank you, Glory.
Can we put my slide down?
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. So I see, actually, I'm going to have to zoom out so that I can see the story and what I'm typing. But you guys have this in front of you too, so that's going to be fine. All right, the little round reptile crawled slowly through the mud and sand, determined to reach the cool water that lapped at the edge of the creek. How can I say that as if I'm this turtle? Hold on. I crawled, right.
Can I add on?
Yeah, of course.
I crawled slowly through the mud and the sand. I was determined to reach the cool water.
Right.
And the creek.
Right. So I crawled slowly through the mud. That's not how you spell through. I was yeah, if you need to move up, please do. Logan, do you need to move up? Yeah, come on.
I'm doing it on paper.
That's fine, David. Yeah, you can definitely come sit on the floor. Listen, make sure you have your mask on and keep your distance if you are sitting on the floor.
I lost my life.
Yeah.
I need to move up. I just need to. It made.
Y'all, I'm just I'm literally taking these sentences and that's what we're doing. We're changing it from the turtle to I or me. Now, if you are wanting to add your own details, no. If you're adding your own, wanting to add your own details, that's perfectly fine. Look, let me zoom it in a little bit more. But I can't zoom it in a ton because we won't be able to see.
I can't find it. It made was.
I was determined to reach the cool water at the edge of the creek.
I love doing this.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. On the LEAP test, this is my favorite kind of writing assignment because you're literally just retelling something that they've already created. You're just adding your own details and telling it from somebody else's point of view. This is the best. We can pray that we have the gift of this kind of writing assignment on the LEAP test because I know that we're gonna rock it if that's the case.
And,
What is it, Cold Iron?
Can we do the next one by ourselves?
Yeah, go ahead. Come up with the next sentence by yourself, and then we'll talk about it. What, Elise?
About
This is kind of like once we did middle and in beginning with like whipping boy.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Changes.
Yeah.
and
What, baby?
I like this assignment because it doesn't make me use too little brain power, doesn't make me use too much. It's like in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of do that.
Yeah. Just do the best you can, Glory. You'll have some time.
it.
So after this turtle crawled up to the mud and was determined to reach the cool water, that's going to be where you guys are coming in next.
Shell. I got shell.
It. Right here, Glory.
Shell.
It made. Right here, after shell. See where my mouse is going?
No.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me get back to a pointer. It made.
Me. I was just
Yeah, it made me. I cannot wait to see what you guys have come up with next. What's going on, Pittman?
I accidentally did it on the wrong side.
Just copy and paste it. Go, Pittman, to your computer. I'll help, Mason.
I got it.
Cut and paste.
Well, can I close my computer since I'm doing it on paper?
Good. Y'all, the next sentence, I went ahead and looked on my piece of paper. The next sentence is this turtle talking about how far it seems. How far it seems away from where he is to the creek. And I'm assuming this is a boy turtle. I don't know. Maybe it's a girl turtle. I don't know.
That'd be a boy to me.
But that's going to be the next thing that you need to be thinking about. What is the next thing? I looked. I just went straight back to my passage.
Miss Gidry, I have a question. Like, my computer keeps trying to autocorrect my display, but like I keep saying ignore.
Yeah. What up, Chloe?
I'm gonna do the
Oh, okay. Let me zoom back out to normal so you can see all these things. Okay, so right here is kind of where I'm at. Despite every step of its webbed feet, the distance to the refreshing water seemed to be further and further away. The exhausted turtle stopped to rest once, tucking its vulnerable feet inside its shell to protect predators. That's a lot. That's a long sentence. So let's just break it up. Tell me,
Run on. They run on.
tell me, how can we restate this, rephrase this as if we are this turtle? Chloe?
Just like every step of my web feet
Uh-huh.
seems to be farther and farther away.
What seems to be further and further away?
Oh. The distance of the refreshing water seems to be farther and farther away.
Yeah, very good. What?
Despite every step of my web feet, the distance to the refreshing water was way too far for little me.
Yeah, way too far for little me. Sure. It seemed way too far for little me. Samantha?
Despite every step of my web feet, the distance to the refreshing water seemed to be farther and farther away.
Yeah, baby, but yes, that's what Chloe said too. Y'all listen to what your classmates are saying and add on if you have something different. Elise?
Despite every step of my web feet, the ocean seemed too far.
Okay. But make sure that you know that this turtle is going to a creek, but I agree with you. Ava?
Despite every step of my web feet, period, the
Despite every step of my webbed feet is a dependent clause, so it can't be, it's a fragment, it can't stand on its own. Despite every step of my webbed feet, the distance to the creek seemed too far for little, is that what you said, little me? That's fine. Because y'all, it's one thing to just change all the turtles to I or me, but what I also want you to do is start incorporating your own details. Start really pretending like you're this turtle. How do you feel if you're a little turtle and you had to walk maybe to the back of the recess field from right where you are?
What?
How do you feel if you're that small and that's as far as you're walking? You're really pretending like you are this turtle here. David?
Tell how far it is.
Yeah. So tell me how far it was. It seemed what, David?
Like, to me, if I was that turtle,
Okay.
it seemed like it was like a couple like hours away.
Right.
About
It
2
seemed
hours
like
away.
it would take me,
2 hours.
I love it, 2 hours to get there.
Miss Gidry, can we start working on the next one?
Well, we're not finished with this one, boo.
Yeah, not to mention, but I got like another piece of paper because I knew there was like another one we have to rewrite it. So yeah.
Did you get lost again, Glory? You need me to show you where? Huh?
Okay, you just did this sentence, Glory. Made my feet feel hot. Okay, now I crawled slowly through the mud. Do you have I crawled slowly through the mud?
Wait, what is? What?
David, you're talking back there to
Sorry.
yourself. What up, baby?
While we erasing, boo boo.
Is it okay if I put a little?
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. This is yours. You're telling this as if you are this turtle. Everybody has different personalities. It's going to come through in the point of view essays too. What, Elise?
Can I say the whole sentence?
Yeah, girl.
Despite every step of my web feet, the creek seemed too far from me.
Yeah. Okay, we added what David said or I did. I don't know if all of you did. It seemed like it would take me 2 hours to get there. That's really now telling me my thoughts. Because remember, when you get to know a character in first person point of view, you know their thoughts and their feelings and their actions. So this has really told us our thoughts if we're this turtle. Now, the next part, it tells us that we've taken a break. So we're this turtle, and it says we've taken a break. So I need a sentence as if you're this turtle about why you took a break, how you took a break. What does this passage say? What? About breaks?
Yeah.
We already got the other one. We've already got the other one. I'm not going to be able to hear everybody's sentence. We got the other one. Do you have a sentence about taking breaks? Okay. Braden?
I took a break so I can rest.
Okay. I took a break so I could rest. But look, it gives us information about how this turtle took a break. So add to it. I took a break
Miss Gidry.
by, how did it do it? How did it take a break? Okay.
Can I tell you my sentence?
Hold on. We're still talking to Braden.
After he's done?
We're talking to Braden. What did he do? How do we know, how do turtles break? How do turtles take a break? If something approaches them that they're unsure about, what do?
They just
Well, it tells us in the
suck in the
passage.
turtle.
Jeremy, help him.
Their feet, they put their body in their shell.
Right. So he put all of his stuff in his shell. It says right here, tucking its vulnerable head and feet inside its shell to protect it from any predators that might be interested in a meaty snack.
I see that.
So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say something like, I tucked into my shell just in case a
Predator comes.
predator comes?
Like any kind of meat eater will just come after that turtle. He has meat in. Doesn't matter what kind of meat eater, it'll just after
Right,
that turtle.
right.
The T-Rex does the same thing. It doesn't
Ava?
care.
I felt so exhausted that I had to tuck into my shell and take a break. I did that so that predators wouldn't come.
Right, I like how you're telling me your feelings. Ava said, I felt so exhausted that I tucked into my shell so that in case a predator came.
Okay. Can you highlight
Uh-huh.
the starting with despite?
Yep.
Right. Start here.
What is it, Chloe?
Can I tell you that?
Yeah.
I was so exhausted, so I stopped to rest once, and I stuck in my head and put inside its my shell to protect from any predators that might eat and sit on the inside.
Yeah. And everybody's is going to sound a little different. As long as you're talking about taking a break as you're the turtle, you've taken a break from this situation. You've taken a break from this situation. Okay? And now the next part begins with just when I began to think that I would never reach the bank of the creek, the turtle felt the sensation of flowing water beneath its thin, leathery skin of its clawed foot. Now you're the turtle and you finally reached it.
So we have to explain it, how we got there,
Uh-huh.
like, and how it feels. But
Right.
Miss Guidry,
What?
remember how like the far part when
Yeah.
I told you it was gonna take 2 hours?
Yeah.
I meant like for me,
Mm-hmm.
if I started somewhere that takes 10 hours,
Mm-hmm.
then I would have took away 8. So that's how I get 2.
Okay. All right. Well, I just think about this turtle knowing it has to go a small distance, knowing that turtles are known to be very slow. It probably
Yeah.
would take him a long time. Selena?
I started to think I'd never hit the creek, and then under my leather skin, I felt a cold sneeze of air.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to unhighlight this, though. I don't-
I got deep, and I can't find it.
Deep?
Miss Guidry.
Oh, is it now?
Okay. Just when I thought I would never make it, the cool water under my leathery.
Wait, is it okay if I put like somebody dug like a small little hole, but and filled it up with like a bunch of water?
Okay, but here's what I want to say about that. I like how you're thinking outside the box, but if it's not a detail that's in the story,
Dumb.
right, because you're just retelling a story from somebody else's point of view. So you can add like some feelings and some thoughts, but you can't add like a whole nother thing that happened. You've kind of got to stick to the facts here, but just pretend like you're the turtle telling me about it.
Right, but there's like this because back then turtles actually sometimes fell in erosion sometimes.
Okay, but
So-
again, that would be a detail that's not listed in the original story. I agree with you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, this sounds like an erosion time.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Miss Guidry.
What is it, Tristan?
Are you mine?
Yeah.
Just when I thought
What you
the
got, girl?
coffee was so
You got what you?
I felt the cool, refreshing water under my leathery feet.
Very good.
They could probably move a little faster sometimes.
Like I saw a video. It just
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do that
Yeah.
in case of emergency, and they only do it like if they really absolutely need.
Yeah, like if they're in danger. Yeah. So after the water touched that 1 foot, then the bottom of this paragraph tells you With a few more steps, I wish I could highlight on here. With a few more steps, the turtle fell gracefully beneath the surface, letting the crisp water carry it away. There was nothing more than a splash and a ring of ripples to let hungry animals lurking nearby know that it had been there. So after it jumped into the water, that's really the narrator talking, and the turtle is gone. So your story is going to end when the turtle jumped into the water and the ripples have come. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So go ahead and give me a conclusion about how you felt when you jumped into the water. Maybe you're the turtle and you saw an old fish friend that you know from visiting that pond before. So maybe you saw your fish friend. Really make this your own. Be creative. It's totally up to you. Ava?
Miss Guidry, did you like fun?
Then I realized that there are only a few more steps, so then I fell softly beneath the surface, letting the water carry me away. Then nothing more than a splash and a ring of ripples left down the splash and a ring of ripples. And then I found a first friend, one of my friends
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I was happy to be home. Maybe that's where it lives. Like maybe I was so glad to be back in familiar waters. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the creek is not that big, so it
Right.
just be chilling there at its home.
Right. Tristan, you have a conclusion you want to share with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I got into the water and felt like I was in heaven or paradise.
Ooh, I love it. When I got into the water, I felt like I was in heaven. I love it. Elise?
When I got to the water and I looked like, it looked like I saw one of my brothers.
Yeah, I saw an old friend.
I forgot where I was.
Okay, what's the last thing you wrote?
That's a highlight. I'm like, I messed up on writing too far.
Or little me?
Little me. Okay.
Is that where she?
Yeah.
That's where I thought she was.
Me.
I
M-E.
I don't hear
Sing too far for little me. So you just finish me, right? Me, M-E, right here.
Hold on, sweet.
M-E.
Me
Me, M-E, not M-Y.
Aren't we making an inference about
Thank you. Okay, and now you're
We're
at
making
the
lots of
highlight part.
inferences here.
It seemed like it would take me 2
I
hours.
was on highlight.
No.
What, boo?
Can I tell you one?
Yeah. Pittman, have a seat.
Only a few more steps.
See, now you're at the highlighted part. Because everybody else is doing every single part of it.
Yeah, very good. Nevaeh.
I swam into the water and I was so happy to be back home with all my family and friends.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put that. I was so happy. And that's a good conclusion because that tells me exactly how he feels. And then I know that my story is over. I was so, please back up. So happy to be home with my family and friends. I love it. And that, y'all, that's a great conclusion to add to a story like this because I know how you feel and I know that you've made it to your destination. This entire passage was about this turtle going back to the creek. So now when it says, I'm happy to be here, I know that lets the reader know, okay, this is the conclusion. This story is now over. Elise.
I didn't put this, but this is like I'm not gonna put this,
Uh-huh.
but it's like an explaining of my conclusion.
Uh-huh.
Turtles, like in real life, most turtles have a lot of siblings.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So,
Most turtles do have a lot of siblings. Logan.
When I reached the water, I felt like I was at home.
Oh, yeah. I love that. David,
Miss Guidry,
please stop doing that.
so it's not really in the story, but if I could put it, so I'd love that. But it's like, once I felt the water, I wanted to keep going because I needed that water.
Okay.
Can I put that?
Hold on.
Can we do the next one?
That's my next thing. That's what I was about to say. Once you finish this paragraph or this little retelling of this quick story, we did this one together. So now you're going to do slide 18 by yourselves. Let's look at it really quick. I'm going to read it to you just to make sure that you know what's going on, and then we'll go from there. So it says read each story and then complete the task. So, it's not fair, Anthony shouted, remembering too late that his mother wasn't the one who'd torn up his sketchbook. He felt awful for yelling like that, especially when he saw the tired look on her face and the fresh stains on the waitress uniform she wore. However, it was too late and he was too upset. Why do you have to share a room with a whiny brat anyway, he asked. Or why do I have to share a room with a whiny brat anyway? That's not nice. Apologize to your brother this instant. There will be no TV after your homework is done, his mother said, narrowing her eyes angrily. Why should I be the one to apologize? Look what he did. Anthony held up the tattered book, its pieces hanging onto the spiral binding of only a few inches. I've had this book for years, and it was important to me, but Daniel destroyed it. Anthony didn't have to remind his mother how special that book was. She already knew, but for some reason, she was taking his baby brother's side. Sweetie, I know you're upset, but Daniel is too little to know better, she started. Then he's too little to be in my room. I'll go move my bed and my things into the storage closet where I can lock the door and keep him out, Anthony yelled angrily. So this is a situation that some of us can relate to because we have little siblings. But look, what you're going to do is rewrite the story in first person point of view as if you are who?
Anthony.
The mother. So we know Anthony's feelings, but we don't know the mother's. So now you're retelling this story as if you're the mother. Ava?
I got it.
Oh, good. Logan? Well, that's nice. So now she won't tear yours up because she has her own. Okay, so I'm about to turn you loose on this. I will put back up slide 17 if you weren't quite finished with it. But slide 18, you're about to work on your own. Okay? This is going to be a retell from another point of view. You are pretending you are the mother in this story. Any questions on what you're supposed to do on slide 18? What is it, Nevaeh?
Do we like Anthony is not there? I shouted, or do we just do the mom?
You're just the mom. You can't be two people at one time.
Can we just write it's not there? Anthony shouted on here.
You can if you want to. What?
I have a little
Okay, is this a question about the story? Okay. Question?
yes.
Okay, what?
Do we still put Anthony saying?
Well, are you gonna be Anthony? Would you say I said?
It's not there, Anthony said, and apologize to your little brother, I said.
You can. It will be I said if you're talking as if you're the mother. Yes, definitely. But remember, you're just retelling this story from beginning, middle, and end. You do not necessarily have to have every single sentence and every single word that all of the characters have said.
Oh, man.
Well, we
We
don't.
could have just read all this paragraph.
You don't have to.
I mean,
You could just tell me about the argument. Anthony was super angry when I got home. I had no idea what was going on until he shouted, "It's not fair." You're the mom. You're talking. It's totally up to you.
so
okay.
can you, like, make up a job?
No. Well, it says she has a job. It says she has a waitress uniform.
So I'm guessing she